my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome to This Is Football. Welcome to another transfer news show, ladies and gentlemen. Today I feel very hungry. Ladies and gentlemen, Dominik Szoboszlai is a red. He is red. We got the here we go from Mr. Fabrizio Romano with an unbelievable, voluptuous tap-in. Unreal tap-in today from Fabrizio Romano, where he let us know that Dominik Szoboszlai is going to be a red. Hey! If you're watching this right now, or on the replay, there's already 200 people in here. We ain't even started yet. If you're watching this right now or on the replay, please do make sure you're slapping that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single person watching this right now, this very second, slap that like button for Dominik Szoboszlai. Slap that subscribe button for Dominik Szoboszlai. Share this video for Dominik Szoboszlai, ladies and gentlemen. We finally have a midfielder alongside MacAllister who can play the sport of football, ladies. Football. Jugador de Leipzig has joined Liverpool Football Club, ladies and gentlemen. And we're out here. And we are out here. And I see the celebrations in the comment section already. Before I introduce my guest, big up Tyler Jones who says steak on the menu. Indeed, it's a fine steak. It's fine. It's medium rare. It's juicy. It's cooked to perfection. Exactly what we need. Love you, Tyler Jones. Big up to you. Shout out to all the Australians who watch us. Michael Talks Football is in the cut. He says UDV, Liverpool, Szoboszlai. He said something in Hungarian there. I have no idea what it's saying. But I love it, Michael. I love the energy. Make sure you're slapping that like button. Make sure you're subscribing. And of course, introducing the guest today. There was no other guy I'd rather had currently on this Szoboszlai video than this guy. Husam x James Redmond has been banging on the internet. I can't lie to you. Some people do call us, the dynamic duo of Liverpool YouTube. Some people are calling us the Hardy Boys. I'm just put it out there. If we're gonna be the Hardy Boys, I'm Bubba Ray Dudley. All I'm gonna say, I'm Bubba Ray because I look like him as well and I wear glasses. So joining us on the channel is the icon, the man here to spit absolutes. He's Conor McGregor, and I'm Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov. Joining us on the channel, big up Rico. That's actually a better one. Why are we doing the Hardy Boys? We should be DX. So I'll tell all the haters to, you know what. Joining us on the channel, of course, is the icon himself. James Redmond is joining us. Where's James? Where's James? How we bottled the intro? Hamas! Where are you, Hamas?
Can you smile? What Klopp is cooking?
Let's go.
Yeah. Come on! Where's the energy, Husam? By the way, I'm Jeff.
I'm a midfielder. I'm
Jeff.
James.
I'm Jeff Hardy.
Say that again.
I'm Jeff Hardy. You mentioned that with the Hardy Boys of YouTube before. I'm Jeff Hardy.
Oh, you're going to give me Matt Hardy? I have no problem. I have no problem with that. Matt Hardy was cold. Still. He was cold.
Yeah, but Jeff was clear, though. If you think of the two, you think of Jeff being clear.
Listen, you're
By
right.
the way, ask me how I'm feeling.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling so boss, lad.
Oh, unbelievable, Jeff.
Where's the energy? Where's the yes? Where's the fire emojis? I want to be seeing comments by the second, the millisecond with the player that we've just signed. Absolutely quality. Brilliant. Couldn't be happier.
The best part about this is me and James are celebrating it like we just scored a goal. That's the best part. Like we're celebrating.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If he does bad, we're in the shit. Like we
Honestly,
are really
like,
in the shit.
If me and James did the show just 24 hours ago, the mood would have been 180 degrees different. I'm gonna be honest with you, compared to what we're doing now. Unbelievable, Jeff. Unbelievable. Anyway, we're out here. We're going to get to it. We're going to talk about Szoboszlai. We're going to talk about all this lovely stuff. Big up to Michael, Tyler, Nadra, Allergies, and Nilotpal for the super chats. 350 people are here already. You better be slapping that like button. Slap that like button. I don't want to keep saying it because me and James are on bits. The energy levels are insane. High octane football. Make sure you're liking
Slap it like Dana White. Slap it like Dana White.
Slap the like button now. Slap that shit. Don't just press it. Slap it. I want you to slap your phone right now. Subscribe to the channel. Share that bloody video. So, James, I'm going to start with you.
Sir.
Szoboszlai officially is a Liverpool player. Talk to me.
Indeed. Listen, it's great business. And you know what's tough, already? I posted my video 38 minutes ago. Now, I'm not going to mention the 3 certain letters throughout this because this is a good moment, right? Now, I've been seeing that people are in favour for these 3 letters again in my comment section, right? I just want to let people know we bust a load once in every 5 years. So, yes, we are going to be happy when we eventually go and buy players in a transfer window like we have done this year. And that's just the way it goes. We're not spending money for the next 15 years, by the way, for those who are supporting those 3 letters now. So, let's get back to the thing. Let's enjoy the right here, right now. Szoboszlai, Szoboszlai, Szoboszlai. My man from Hungary, Mr. Dominik, right? Boss. I don't even know his name, but guess what? I've got eyes. So even though my communication might not be on point at the moment, my eyes see what I believe can be a world-class player. I really do. I think he can be someone whose quality, his shooting is off the charts. He's got a great eye for a pass. And I just think he's that extra bit of creativity from the midfield that we really need. And it's only going to enhance the goals next season. I think this is a huge sign. The reason why I weren't so optimistic before is because we weren't linked with him. And I did expect something to happen where a player that we signed is a player that we didn't know about, because that's how Liverpool roll a lot of the time. And I'm glad that it was this one. He's one of in my opinion, he's just on that barrier of becoming world class, but he's young. Klopp can get that out of him, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, boss lad.
You know what it is like? I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm gonna just address the elephant in the room, right? Because people are gonna go like, "Oh, Husam, you never told us about Szoboszlai. Like, you don't know anything." I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, no one, and I mean no one knew about this guy. Just not as in knew him as a player. I mean, no one thought we were gonna sign Szoboszlai. I'll be honest with you. Like, me and James Redmond have probably done 500 videos on Kefren Thuram, on Manu Kone, on Gabri Veiga, on all the guys that people have been talking about. And out of nowhere, and guys, when I mean out of nowhere, I promise you, the people who are well connected with the club, the people who work at the Liverpool Football Club, did not know about this transfer probably until yesterday. This whole thing just came out of nowhere. We woke up and we were like, that guy at Leipzig, he's really good, right? And then out of nowhere, we just go and sign the guy. Like, I'm like, okay, since when do we do this as Liverpool Football? That was an insane piece of business. And here's the thing. Bada bing, if I don't slap the shit out of you right now, are we doing FIFA hype right now? Don't change the energy. I'm gonna slap the crap out of you. I said FIFA. I'm gonna slap the shit out of you right now. Don't do that.
Someone's even just said you guys acting like he's KDB. Why can't we be excited for the promise of a player? What would you said about KDB before he joined City? Be careful, man. You know what I mean? Like, he could be quality. He could become a quality player. You've got to analyze a player for his attributes. You can't just always say, "Oh, he's young, so he's not going to become good." You're just salty, man. Just salty. You never got him. It's one of those things.
And respectfully, AB15. I don't know who you support. I'm suspecting Man United. You're probably angry because you spent 60 on Mason Mount. Let me just say this. I'm going to say this respectfully.
I'm so happy we never got Mason Mount, Husam. I'm so happy we never got that. I didn't want him when we were linked with him. I think he would have suited us. I genuinely
want to ask you about that because I'm so like, you know what? I'm going to ask you about this. Let me just say this to this AB guy. Listen here, bro. Let me just say this. I would say this the most respectful way possible. We employ Jordan, Brian, Henderson with no legs. So Dominik Szoboszlai is just in the nicest way possible a massive upgrade on what we currently have. And we only finished 4 points behind top 4 with the crap we had to deal with this season. So here's the thing. With him, I think the most exciting thing is, and I promise you, there's actually a video of me with Tom Little, shout out Tom Little, where I kind of did a video and I said my ideal midfield three and I had him in there. And I think the one thing that he offers us is a goal scoring midfielder. And today I was thinking about this. We actually haven't had a goal scoring midfielder since Stevie, you know, when you look on it, like an 8. We haven't had someone who scores goals like that since Steven Gerrard. I'm going to be honest with you. Some people might say Coutinho, but Coutinho really played on the left a lot of the time as well. He played like more like a left winger a lot of the time. So this guy's coming in, an absolute baller. He can play the sport of football. He's got pace and power, which is needed. Pace and power is needed in the English Premier League. I always say this. So, like, I look at Szoboszlai, and honestly, on that right-hand side, it's exactly what the doctor ordered. That's just how I'm looking at it right now. James?
Yeah, sure. For sure. Listen, in terms of his attributes, I'm a big fan of the dribbling, the IQ, the passing, and the shooting. And they're the 4 things that I think a midfielder needs to a high degree. You know, people are saying De Bruyne. I think he's already a better dribbler than De Bruyne. I don't think De Bruyne is elite at dribbling at all, to be honest. I think he's a good crosser, he's a great passer, and he's an elite shooter. And if Dominik can be half of the player that De Bruyne is in all those departments, then we've still got a world-class player. So I'm happy. Like, no one's going to be able to take... The only way that this... I'm someone who puts myself on the firing line every single time. So when we got Nunez, I was there on the firing line saying I weren't a big fan. The same way I'll say I'm a big fan of this one because I analyse attributes, not just where they come from, not just what they've achieved. He's a big game player. He qualified Hungary for the Euros in 2020. He scored some big goals for Leipzig, won a little bit of silverware. Obviously, another player from Salzburg. And we know we've like to sign a couple of players from there as well. So I'm buzzing, lad. No one's taking me off this Szoboszlai train. You know what I mean?
Same.
I'm all aboard.
Same. And I see someone earlier on saying MacAllister's better. Hey, both are Liverpool players anyway.
I don't care. If you're telling me who's better... Do you remember when we had the Mane Salah debate? When they were both Liverpool players, that was a great debate to have. It was fine. I was happy with the answer either or. I was like, it's a Liverpool player. So whoever's better, who cares? It's gonna impact us in a positive way.
Yeah, like if you think MacAllister is better than Szoboszlai, I've got no problem with that. Guess what? They're both Liverpool players. That's what matters. Yay.
Indeed.
Oh God, I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy.
Same. Over the moon.
James.
Hello.
You touched on it. I'm gonna have to ask you.
Go.
This could have been the minerals from Stamford Bridge. Talk to me. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to give you the floor. Express yourself.
The minerals from Stamford Bridge?
You just said you're so happy we didn't get Mount. Who the hell do you think I'm talking about? Reece James?
Oh, you want about the guy from Portsmouth? Yeah, the Portsmouth Mo Farah. Oh, go on, man.
He went there.
Mo Farah, Portsmouth. Nah, listen. Here's the thing about Mount. He's fine. And that's all he is. He's fine. He's not a bad player. I'm not going to shit on him. I'm not going to say that he's the worst player I've ever seen. But would have I had the same conversations that I've been having about Thuram if we got Mason Mount? Absolutely. Do I believe Mason Mount is a player that can get you from 5th to 1st? Absolutely not. Do I think that Szoboszlai is that player? I don't know. But I do believe he has a higher ceiling. And that's something I'm willing to take a chance on. And like you said, we've got MacAllister too. So it's another option. I still believe that we're in need of another midfielder. But yes, out of all those players, I think Szoboszlai had the best season out of all 3 last year when you really, really break it down. And MacAllister had a great season and he won the World Cup. But I'm not talking about just trophies. I'm talking about personal performance. And, you know, on a personal performance standard, not many people in the Do you know how many people in the Bundesliga are so happy to see him go? So many people in the Bundesliga are buzzing. I've had Dortmund fans messaging me all day saying, you're getting a good player here and we're glad that he's gone type idea. So, listen, it's one that I can get excited. It's one that I can get behind. And if it doesn't go right, it was the right profile. So I'm fine to sit there and say, like, okay, it might have just been the player or whatever. But yet on Mason Mount, I'm just glad that weren't the standards that we were hoping for. And I'm glad that we looked at our transfer business through a different lens. Not just getting a big, like, you know, someone who's... Mason Mount's only a big name because it's England and I live in England, so I hear about him a lot. I don't see Mason Mount being a superior big name abroad. You know what I mean? Mason Mount is probably what, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good example. I don't know, like a Correa, you know, from Atletico Madrid or so, like that level. Like good player, but just you don't really think about him or anything like that. You don't think
Were
he's
you
going to win
against
your
Mount
leagues.
when we were linked with him?
I thought I was praying that he was going to be one of 3 new midfielders, to be honest, if we was going to get him. But I'm just glad we never, because I think it's going to be, I think we're done. I think we're done with the midfield business. I'm not going to lie to you. So yeah, I do think that's 2 midfielders in, and now we'll get a defender. And that's it. So I would have only took Mount if we got the players around him, basically.
Okay, fair enough. I want to unpack that real quick, and I just want to say one thing. This is why you don't support the club blindly. I understand if you say I want to Mason Mount because of 1, 2, and 3, I have no problem with that. My only problem with people is like, oh, I'm okay with it because Klopp wants him and blah blah blah. Like, I don't like that. Like, you just give me your opinion. You could want him, you could not want him. That's okay. But don't just say just because Liverpool want him, I'm just back it blindly. Even though a month ago I said I don't want Mason Mount. And players like Szoboszlai is exactly why I don't want Mason Mount. It's for the same price tag I'm getting. With all due respect, when we're talking about higher ceilings, this Szoboszlai guy could go on to become the best midfielder in the world. I don't ever see a world in which Mason Mount's the best midfielder in the world.
I agree.
Because
that's exactly what I was trying to say. That was a great way to put it, Husam. That was a great way to put it.
Exactly what James just said is fact. This guy's ceiling is unbelievable. His ceiling is unbelievable. This is the thing. Like when you're talking about ceilings, this guy's ceiling is up there. Like his ceiling could be the best midfielder in the world without a shadow of a doubt.
And he's right here, right now, in my opinion, too.
And you look at that midfield, because we mentioned MacAllister earlier on. You look at that midfield now. MacAllister on the left, Szoboszlai on the right, and you're like, oh, Lord. This is a midfield. Mm-hmm. This is a midfield now. Like, this is actually a midfield. Not that dross we've been doing this whole year. This is a genuine midfield, you know? Like, this is an actual midfield. James, we're going to have a midfielders who can pass the ball, who can create, who can shoot. I'm so excited.
Nah, it's a game changer, you know, lad. This is a game changer, bro. It is a game changer. Like, even my perspective on the season.
Can play football.
Bro, like, I've gone from outside the top 4 to, like, comfortably in top 4. Like, I think we'll finish second now. I'm back into that type of picture. I think we'll get a defender, and then I think we'll finish second. I do. I still think we need to do more.
Back, will you hop on my league title train?
What?
If we get a centre back, will you hop on my league title train before it's too late?
Depends on who the centre back would be. Would massively depends. If it was Guardiola, then yeah. But if it's not him, and it's like Van der Ven or whoever, then nah.
Okay, fair enough. I hear you. Just before I run through the super chats, guys, there's 600 people here.
Big up to everyone.
Slap the like button now. Subscribe to This Is Football if you're ready to do so. James Redmond's channel is in the title. Subscribe to his channel too if you're someone who's living under a cave, don't know who this guy is. Where the fuck you been? Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're slapping that like button. 600 people are here. I want minimum 300 likes. 50% minimum 50%. Slap that like button. Subscribe. Big up to Queen Nadra saying Klopp being ruthless. I can't lie to you. If it means no more number 14 in the starting 11, Lord, thank God. Big up to you, Queen Nadra. I will not attempt to sing that Rihanna banger, but that was a banger by Rihanna. Disturbia. I still remember it growing up, but I can't sing. I sang once in the shower and the water turned off. I think
you shy at singing, Husam? You shy at having got a voice of an angel?
100%. I'm shy at singing. Like, I fully admit it.
Gotta get the vocals increased, Husam. Gotta get the vocals.
No, listen, my voice is good for other things, but we shall not reveal that on a stream that's talking about football.
I'm really curious. You're mad. Carry on.
Husam, you and James Redmond together is my favorite show. Thank you.
Big up, sir. Big up,
let's pal, man. Ryan is back in the cut. He says, it's a beautiful day, my brothers. The days of Henderson ball are over. Tears in my eyes. Big up these two elite content creators. I just can't wait for the scenes of somehow Klopp starts like Henderson and Jones in the first 5 games of the season until like Szoboszlai and stuff adapt, and we'd all just be losing our minds every time
we'll be fuming. We will be fuming. We do still need to get another midfielder, though. I mean, so do you know when I said we could push for seconds, and I did say could, I have to emphasize, I think we could push for seconds. You've still got to think about injuries, just an injury away from Fabinho or, even one of those two, God forbid. I just, it's Henderson back in the midfield or Harvey Elliott back in the midfield, which I know that's not a league winning midfield right here, right now. So There's still way, like, you've got to understand, going into the window, there's a reason why we're all upset, and it's because the squad has been massively underdeveloped over the past couple of years, or poor investment has been put into it. And even though this is a good window, it was a joke, but it was also a little bit of truth about what I said before about busting your load all at once, mate. Sorry, that's a bit graphic for some people, but it's true. It's like once every 5, and then it's gone, it's finished. There's no more improvements. There's no more agency. So, what I'm thinking is, if we go out there, get another midfielder and a defender, I'll feel a lot more comfortable saying second. But until then, I think we'll finish top 4. And I think I'm fine with saying that, because I need to see how the injuries goes.
That's fair. That's fair. Big up, Ryan. Matthew says 2 more in and we walk this league. I promise you. Matthew,
Walker is a stretch, but yeah, I think we can definitely compete.
Matthew, me and you are alongside the same train of thought. I'm saying if we get Thuram and a centre back after this, run me my league title, bro. That's what I'm saying. Back? Listen, when we get to that section, I'm gonna say my honest opinion. But for me, like, I just think we need like a decent third option, because I think Van Dijk and Konate are bang on starters. So you're just looking at a third option that needs to be a very good centre back. Personally, if it were up to me, I'm going Inacio, Sporting Lisbon. That's why I'm going. But the problem is we've pissed Sporting Lisbon off apparently. So I don't know if that deal's gonna go through. But big up to you, Matthew, man. Appreciate you. Me and you are on the same train of thought. I'm gonna get to it in a second. Big up to Zlatan, who says, Husam, we are a surprise because it was it's more believable the transfer happened because Mike Gordon stole John Henry's Amex. Hey, there's been reports that maybe John W. Henry's card has been stolen. And unlike James, I wanna address the elephant in the room. I'm gonna address it in a second. I'm just gonna run through these super chats in peace, and then I'm gonna talk about it. I cannot hold myself, because I'm just James is a nice guy. I'm not sometimes a nice guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I'm an asshole. So I have to unlock that part of myself.
Sometimes.
Wow. Big up to you, Zlatan. Big up to AB15 says, lol, I'm just curious, boys. Celebrate away. Appreciate you, AB15. Enjoy Mason Mount. We're going to see who's going to be happier next season. Hey.
Nah, AB15 sound, lad. It was AB15. We were just bantering, bro. It's one of those things. It's one of those things, the football banter.
Hold that, bro. Big up to Arbans, who says, great signing, by the way. It's pronounced Szoboszlai.
Szoboszlai. That's what I've heard. Szoboszlai.
Szoboszlai. Okay, thank you, Arbens, for the super chat and for the pronunciation. See how I said that the British way? Big up to Zlatan, says they call him Mount because he can't get over his own hump. Wow, that's a bar and a half right there. That's a bar right there.
That's some ice for that burn right there.
I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm stealing that line right there. Big up to you, Zlatan. Yeber says, how did we not get Nkunku? But what a signing. I wouldn't want Nkunku right now is pointless, because I think there is no need to change any of our forwards up anyway. I think we're good in the forward line. Big up to you, Yeber. Dinesh says, evening Liverpool are going to buy Marcus Thuram. Marcus, he's already gone to Inter. I think you mean Kefren, not Marcus.
Yeah, he means Kefren, I think.
Yeah, because Marcus is gone, Danish. But I'm going to talk about that as well now in a second. Big up to Queen Nadra, says free Trent. Oh, Trent's going to be free. That's for sure. He's going to have 2 midfielders alongside him who can actually play football. So big up to you, Nadra. And Selection with the ultimate super chat just says smirk on my face. And you know what? I get it. So 600 people are here. As we said, make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing. Big up everyone for the super chats. Keep getting your comments in the comment section. Try and interact with as many as possible. Now, let me just say this. I'm going to have to address the elephant in the room.
Okay, Husam, I'm going to jump out and jump back.
Okay. So I'm going to address the elephant in the room until he jumps out and jump back in. James Redmond says, we're not going to address the 3 magic letters. The 3 magic letters being Fenway Sports Group. We already know. Now, here's why I am going to address the 3 magic letters. Let me tell you why. Oh, you're back in HD now. Well done. So when it comes to FSG, this is why I'm going to address. I'm going to be honest. Here's the thing. FSG in and FSG out should not be a movement that's driven by one signing to either side. That's just the reality. Because I see people immediately today wake up and going like, oh, where's the FSG out brigade? Oh, we're still here. And I still am FSG out. Us signing Spollet side does not make me not FSG out. Us, you know what? I'm going to take it a step further. Had we signed Kylian Mbappe, I still would have been FSG out. The reason why I'm FSG out is because I want sustained success at the top. This is what they're not providing us. So now you may ask me, Husam, So how can you become FSGN? Great question. If you give me 2-3 years of consistent spend and ambition, and you telling me I care about Liverpool and I want us to win, that's when I'll turn. Don't come to me after one signing when we're not even done this summer. Szoboszlai and MacAllister are not even enough. That's the reality. And listen, you could argue it's enough midfielders, which I have no problem with. If you want to come here and tell me, okay, Szoboszlai and I would disagree, but I'd say, okay, no problem. I hear it. Get me a centre back and let's keep it stepping. But don't come act like just because we signed 2 players now, we're like, I'm supposed to sit up here and go like, oh my God, thank you, John W. Henry. Let me make you my profile picture on Twitter. Of course not. Because shall we forget the summer before and the summer before and the January when we were top of the league and we got Ozan Kabak who couldn't start for relegated Norwich and Ben Davies who's a hologram who played in Scotland, or the summer before? We can keep going. Sepp van der Berg, Harvey Elliott and Adrian. We can keep going and on and on and on and on. So let's not sit up here now and act like this whole thing is going to change it to one opinion. I don't want to bring the mood down or anything, but we have to address it because James is also FSG out. So don't come to us like we're supposed to turn FSG in because we signed one guy. That's just ridiculous. Guess what? Even if we sign Thuram and a centre back, I'm not going to make a video titled FSG in now because I want them to do it again in the summer.
If you think one good window, let alone one good signing, but let's say we have a great window. If you think one great window outweighs all the bad shit they've done, then you're sadly mistaken, chat. Like, even the signings aside, like the Super League was still a thing, the ticket prices were still a thing, the market, the Liverpool name. What was it that they done trademarked?
Trademarking Liverpool.
Where they trademark Liverpool, like that was a thing. I'm just simply saying, like, once you analyze the intention of a man, you can then be aware if they are going to attempt to stab you in the back again. And if you shut off from that, then you're just letting essentially people who have never known about Liverpool Football Club until they bought it, you're just letting them just run your football club. And listen, if you're okay with that, then fine. But as someone who, you know, literally lives around the corner from the stadium, I've seen that club go into all different shapes and whatnot, and I don't appreciate when someone elsewhere doesn't have the same ambitions about it that I do. And that's not me saying I'm from Liverpool, so I have a no, Husam has the same ambitions that I do, and they're the people that I align with, people who have the best interest at heart for this football club. And I'll tell you now, Husam has better interest at heart for this football club than a lot of Scousers. So it's not a Liverpool thing. I only raise these points because it's important to mention that if you're going to be happy off one good window and you think I'm stupid for not getting on the FSG in train after one good signing, I think you need to reevaluate your intelligence, and then maybe we can have a proper discussion, because until then it's going to be hard. Because if you're going to ignore everything else and just get on board with one signing, you're proving everything that I've been saying. Indoctrination, the fact that flashy pictures and here we goes can be enough to turn your opinion around 100%. It's actually quite embarrassing, and I'd even go as far as to say slightly pathetic.
I'm so happy that James shares the same sentiment as me, and this is the reality of the matter. The reality of the matter is, please don't expect people to, even exactly what James just said, even if we have a great window, never mind one signing, even if we have a great window in general, that does not take away everything that's happened in the past. All these things, we're sat here. The truth is, we're sat here on one league title and one Champions League. I'm not going to disrespect Man City, so I'm not going to say they would have won like 3 less, but I would have at least said maybe one more league title for us, maybe one more Champions League for us, and we'd be sat here feeling a lot better about ourselves. So it's about sustainability when it comes to FSG for me. For me personally, it's about sustainability. So you come in here...
we can't win. Husam, we can't win because we get told that we're negative all the time, even though I would consider it truthful. If the truth hurts, guess what? That tends to be the case. The truth can hurt. So people have a go with us for being truthful - hateful. And then when we're happy over the sign and it's, oh, you're FSG out now, it's like, yeah, of course I am. But it doesn't mean I can't be happy. Imagine, Husam, imagine if I never fed you for 10 days and then I passed you a Macchies. You'd be like, oh, thank you for giving me a Macchies. It's like, but I haven't fed you for 10 days, so yet you're happy for the Macchies. You've still been starving for the previous. So what? Now we're just going to say, oh no, James must be good now. He's gave Husam a Macchies. Fuck off, come on. Like we need to just be logical here. You know what I mean? Let's not be stupid. We never. I don't want to align with a stupid fan base. It's not me. It's not me.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. This is 100% reality, guys. So listen, we now here's what I don't want to happen. We signed Szoboszlai, and I'm very happy, and we're going to continue to talk about it. And we just sit on our ass and go like, oh, we've signed Szoboszlai and MacAllister. You know, this is the response, right? This how robotic the opposition is, that I know exactly what they'd say to me and James. You guys have been crying about midfield all year long. We've just signed 2 midfielders. Why are you still crying? Why are you still moaning? Some people can never be happy. These guys are negative for views. They need clicks on their video. Like, come on. Like, bro, I know the test and I know the answers. I know exactly what you're going to say. There's nothing that's going to shock me anymore.
That's why I invite them all onto the show. I say to any FSGM fan, I know any of the points you'll raise. Come on. I invite them all on. I do.
Same. I'd happily bring an FSG in right now because I just know exactly what he's going to say. The truth is, the reality is. Go on, James.
I was only going to mention briefly about Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita being here 3 years longer than what they should have been. And apparently that's okay. People just seem to forget bad shit that they've done. It's wild, you know, Husam. Like, Keita never played a game for like 3 years. And we're all sitting here saying, yeah, oh, we are Keita and Oxlade. Like, come on, we were short 2 midfielders. We were short of 2 quality midfielders the whole time Keita and Oxlade was there. Just behave yourself, man. Let's be serious.
Thank you. Fact. Everything he just said is fact, and that's the bottom line. You need sustainability, you need ambition, you need us to show to take us to the mountaintop. If you take us to the mountaintop and you keep me at the mountaintop, we're not going to complain. But what you can't do is help me climb Mount Kilimanjaro and then push me off the cliff. And then you're like, oh, but I helped you climb it. Okay, thank you. Now I'm dead, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, literally. It's like, yeah. Fuck off.
Exactly. Like, oh, remember, I got you to the top of the mountain, but I'm the one who pushed you off too. Like, come on, man. Just, guys, be honest with you. Be honest with yourself. That's all I ask you. If you're an FSGner, no problem. I've got no problem with you. We're all Liverpool fans, blah, blah, blah. Listen, your opinion is your opinion, but don't come up here and go like, oh my God, where's the FSG out brigade now? Because we signed 1 midfielder. Like, have some shame. We've employed Keita, Ox, Milner, and Henderson and others for the last 6 years. Like, the same exact midfield. Like, you expect us. You know, the McDonald's analogy is actually the most accurate one James has said so far. Like, imagine starving someone to death for like 8-9 days, and then the 10th day going like, oh, here's a Big Mac. And now everyone
laud them. You laud them.
Why haven't you thanked the guy for the Big Mac? He's the reason I'm starving anyway.
Exactly. He's the reason why you appreciate this one signing more. He's the reason. What Szoboszlai is to us is way more than what £100 million Grealish was to City. The excitement that has been generated off this signing was way more than that. And here's an example. Rich kids tend to have a different outlook on value, right? So I could get an Xbox 360 when I'm younger, a year after it's been out, but they have already got the Xbox One, right? They've already got the next thing out, and if they got the Xbox 360, they'd be fucking fuming. So that's why City, if they get second best in class, no, only best. Whereas when we get anyone, it's just one of those things. We live in a council house and we're just scraping for anything that we can. Any presents will do. So even though it's a bit extreme, you get the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah,
we get excited, and then that overclouds people's original opinion on what they had. So you just got to be
let me ask you now, moving on from FSG. I think me and James, I'm going to be honest with you, we've answered that FSG point to perfection. If you're still questioning it now, after everything we've said for the last 10 minutes, just rewatch the 10 minutes. I'm going to be so honest with you. So here's the thing. Just carrying on from this conversation regarding midfield. You said you think we're done. Can I as in done in midfield? So just tell me kind of your logic behind us being done in midfield.
I think if you consider Henderson not leaving, Fabinho not leaving, Thiago still available, I think that's more than a good enough cushion for FSG to sit there and say it would be not necessary for us to go and spend on another midfielder this season. But next year we'll go out and get whoever replaces Thiago and Henderson and Fabinho. It's not the worst thing they can do. You know, I did say going in the window, at least bare minimum 2 midfielders, bare minimum, and that was bare minimum. But I said 3 would be good. And I still think we need a more defensive midfielder, someone who's going to play in that number 6. I don't think we'll get that. I've heard we've still been talking to Lavia, and I wouldn't mind it because if Klopp identifies him as a certain profile and he's going to be the surpasser for Fabinho, I'm fine with that. But yeah, I that's the only thing. If I can be picky, that's it. But I do still think we're
still talking to Thuram. That's the thing.
Huh? Well,
we're still talking to Thuram though. That's the thing. Like we're actually still looking at
Thuram. To be honest, I'd be very surprised if we just pulled out of that deal.
So how it's kind of three. I'd say, look, MacAllister is kind of like, I'd say, the joker in that midfield, because I think he could
I feel you.
genuinely like be a bit more defensive. I
Yep.
think Szoboszlai he's definitely a final third guy. Like, let's cut the BS here. Like, Szoboszlai in the offensive third is where we're gonna use him like to the utmost ability. If we get
100%.
Thuram, I can't lie, Thuram is probably more final third too. So like, I don't know, how do you see that from a football perspective? How do you see the fit going on if we do carry on with the Thuram?
So, yeah. The Thuram thing is interesting because if we go and get him, I'm happy with those options because I think he can grow into a number 6, or you can play just 3 centre midfielders and they change between each other. I really do believe we can get something working there. I do. I think we can get something working if we get Thuram. And plus, we'll still have loads of options. So I just want squad depth. I just want numbers. I want to, if MacAllister gets injured or Dominik gets injured, I want someone of decent quality to replace them. And I question the quality of Henderson and Fabinho in the short term. I think Fabinho can get back. But I'd even question like Fabinho's being near enough just as bad as Henderson over the past 12 months, to be honest. And I'm fine to debate it because his name's Fabinho and it sounds like he'd be better than Henderson. But honestly, they've both been near enough as bad as each other. And I've watched Fabinho in some eye-scratching performances. So, yes, I do still think we massively need a DM. I think we needed a DM more than this player, but we still needed this player. So hopefully it's just a case of we've just got one of the pieces for the puzzle a little bit earlier than what we needed.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no problem with you saying Fabinho played worse than Henderson. It's not like an agenda thing for me. Yeah. I generally have no problem with that. I think that's a very fair thing to say. I think for me, like, it's it's the infamous comparing trash to garbage, because both of them have underperformed, if you want honest.
No, you're
opinion.
right. You're right.
Yeah, both haven't played well. So for me, like, I have no problem with people saying like Fabinho played worse than Henderson. My only pushback would be one thing. I think the defensive load on Fabinho is a bit too much. That would be my pushback. I think it's become a thing where, like, if you remember prime Fabinho, right? Where like Fabinho, me and you would argue 2 or 3 years ago, Fabinho best DM in the world, all of that good stuff. In them times, Fabinho was probably defending 3-4 counterattacks per game. Yeah. Now he's defending like 20 counterattacks per game. So I think that does make a difference.
That's why Trent looks worse. That's why Trent looks worse, because he's having more attacks at him. That's the only issue. So we become that systematic team again, then you never know. And that's why I've always put an emphasis on becoming a system again. And it's why I didn't want Darwin Nunez, because you'll watch a video. I got sent it earlier. It's on do you know Tifo, the YouTube channel?
Yeah. The Tifo, cartoon guy.
They done a video earlier and it was talking about our system, and I've been trying to tell people this, but people didn't listen because I can't explain shit well. But he was basically telling us about when we got Nunez, we put everything into the box to Nunez. So therefore we were too adherent towards Nunez, and that led to way more teams being able to get at us. And throughout the game, we'd always change Harvey Elliott into a number 10. I tried telling people this, like Harvey would play central and right, he'd just interchange, and Salah would sometimes go in the middle when Nunez would go to the left. But what had happened? We'd lose the ball and the press weren't present in the midfield. One, because we weren't capable of doing it, and two, systematically, it didn't suit. So I think Klopp noticed we couldn't press as well no more, tried to change it. That didn't make much difference. And then when Nunez came out the team and Gakpo came in, that was when things really started to change, or at least when Nunez got brought to the left, because that guy in the middle getting the majority of our chances was a big problem. I only raised this because if you watch that, you'll see how getting a pressing team. So I know MacAllister isn't thing, but the one thing you can improve easiest is pressing, is running legs. You know what I mean? If you haven't got technique, that's hard. But you can improve legs. So I think MacAllister, Dominik, and then one more with legs. I'm very confident going into the season with that midfield for sure.
100% completely agree with you. And I think just on that whole like midfield point, I think definitely our press is so much weaker this year, man. Like so much weaker this season, which I think is definitely something. As you said, like, okay, fair enough. If you're talking about football attributes, it is difficult. But the press should be, it's never something difficult because it's based 90% on work rate. So and okay, to be fair, not just work rate, intelligence too, because you've got to be smart in the press. So like, I completely agree with you. My only thing is, and this is how I'm just genuinely looking at this whole Thuram thing. If it does come true, I'm just looking at it kind of from the perspective of like, how would Thuram really fit into this team? Like, how would he fit into this team? It's the real $1 million question. Because I'm looking at it like, I don't think Thuram is strong defensive presence. I think Thuram is strong offensive presence, and I think he's strong in terms of work rate and pace and power. That's where Thuram is strong. So you add that to Szoboszlai and thingy and MacAllister. I don't think that's a midfield three. That's my thing. So you need so it's like two of them with another guy. That's my thing. So I think two of them with the other guy. You know what would have been perfect? I actually went back and I saw what I said, and I'm not saying that I'm a genius. I do believe it, but you know, I'm just gonna say, when I went and I did the whole my ideal midfield three, I put Szoboszlai, I put MacAllister, and I put Ugarte. Had we signed the DM, that is when I think we would have just propelled to the next level, like Szoboszlai, Ugarte, MacAllister. But I think we could definitely make it work. And here's my thing. I think we get Kefren. I really believe we get Kefren. But in my opinion, if we can only afford one more player, as soon as Szoboszlai, as soon as that guy is posing with the Liverpool shirt and Liverpool Twitter announce it, we should be looking at nothing other than centre backs. The next focus needs to be 100 million% centre backs. My thing is, I think we need three. Complete agreement with James. But if you give me Szoboszlai, MacAllister, I'd accept it. I'd at least accept it. I'd go like, okay, fair enough. I understand. Okay. But centre back, we cannot not sign someone. We, by definition, we can't. Because I've got Konate, Van Dijk, Gomez, and Matip. All four are injury prone. It's not like one's injury. All four are injury prone.
That's right.
You're lying if you say you watch Liverpool Football Club and every time Konate falls on the ground, you don't get like a mini, like...
Yeah, you don't shit yourself when he's doing one of those large sprints back chasing a striker.
You're like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Yeah, that's what you're feeling. People are putting names out there. Like, for me personally, as I said, my personal choice, if I was in control, would have been Inacio. But I think we've pissed Sporting Lisbon off. That's my honest opinion. Anyway, 650 people are watching us right now. Everyone watching us right now, please do make sure you're slapping the like button. Do make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single person watching us right now, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. I'm just going to run through these super chats. And then me and James just going to do the last kind of 20 minutes just talking about the team overall, the center backs, the midfield, all of that. Just kind of where do we go from here? 650 people are here. Like the video. Subscribe now. Slap that like button. Subscribe this very second. Big up to Sav who says, I'm just so happy for Salah, Mane, he deserves to play with ballers in midfield. One more defender, and we're winning the treble. Oh Lord, we can't win the treble because we're in the Europa, Loki. You know I go hard for my Reds. Big up the Reds. We all deserve this. Sav, big up Sav. I do agree with you. We completely deserve this. We deserve a happiness. We deserve a good midfield. Finally, we deserve a good midfield. So I completely agree with you with that. Winning the treble, though, I'm gonna pump the brakes on that one. Get me a centre back. And then we'll talk about winning the Premier League first. Big up to you, Sav. Big up to Nelson, says, so excited. Give me Thuram and Inacio, FSGA. Look at this, Nelson. You're so shameless, Nelson. You're so shameless. Look at you turning after one good win, though, this guy, man. You know, James said it earlier on. The reason why we're this excited anyway is because they've starved us. Come on, man. Come on.
Hey, Husam, are you now feeling American by any chance?
Never.
That's what everyone's saying in the chat. They're going, are you feeling American by any chance? Who needs Qatari? Who needs Qatari when we're getting Szoboszlai? You know what I mean? It's not like we've just had Cater and Oxley for 5 years in a row sitting off the bench. Not even on the bench, off the bench. They've been sitting behind Adrian. That's what we've had. They've sat behind Adrian, chat, and these are the standards. Ridiculous.
Oh, God. Ridiculous. We pump faked United in signing Mount. I can't lie. That's the best part about this whole thing.
That was great.
Asking if I'm FSG out is like asking me if Still Dre is a classic. Come on, man. Yeah, it doesn't change. Like, Still Dre is a classic. That's just the reality. Same way I'm FSG out. So is James. So big up Slatter for the super chat. La na na la na na na. Hey, 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 Batman. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Big up to Kells, man. Big up Kells. Al Osman. Great question. Let James answer this one. How do you rate FSG before COVID, 2020-2021 season?
They were on the right track towards the end. I still think they had a lot more to prove. And I think they were doing really well. I mean, before COVID, they were literally 25 points clear at the top of the Premier League. So there weren't too many complaints on the structure of the football club. We'd won the Champions League less than a year prior. So yeah, they were doing good, but that was only in that short spell. It was in the moment fine, but yes, I still had my questions at the time. I'll be dead honest. And it was after COVID when the Super League came up, and that was when I was done. That because before, you see, here's my trajectory. FSG come in, yay, we're not folding. Yay,
we're not going into administration.
Exactly. So it was actually I was happy when they first came in, and then of course the first few years happened. Gets to Brendan Rodgers, and I'm thinking, okay, I think we can build something here. And what changed it was the Luis Suarez thing. So they sold Luis Suarez, and I see who they bought, and it was Ricky Lambert for me. I just thought, I'm sorry, like I know we had a good season for Southampton the season prior, but this cannot be the standard. Mario Balotelli, I thought was going to be sick, to be fair. I'm not going to lie to you, lads. I was slightly young at the time. I thought he was going to be heavy. But, just looking back at that window. And then what we went on to do for the year after was not good either. So I was 50-50. It's only since the Super League, really, because it was the tickets, it was the trademark, and then it was COVID, and then the Super League. So that was when it was done for me. I'll be honest.
You might not believe this, but I'm FSG out since 2015. I've been FSG out for a long time.
Fair dues. Yeah, I haven't been FSG out that long. I see. It's not just competing for me. Competing's a big factor, and I think it should be important. My main thing is to just don't take away the heritage of the football club. Just don't chat shit. You know what I mean? Just don't go out and try and scam the locals. And it's not all about the locals, but yes, the foundations of Anfield was built by the locals. So let's call a spade and recognise that you've got to pay respect to the area as well. And I just don't think they've done enough of that. You know, they mentioned about investing into the area when they first came in. They've done barely any fucking of that. So again, it's just about being sincere, and I hate people who are insincere, and it usually comes from, like big rich owners, and it's fine to be a big rich owner, but just admit what you're there for, which is just making money. You don't care about the football club. They're caring about your bank account, and if we got fourth, you don't care because you get Champions League revenue. So yeah, but sorry. Anyway, you carry on. How come you was FSG out?
I just want to say, since I see a lot of Hungarian names in the comment section, so I just want to give you guys a message.
Köszönjük a figyelmet. Lájkold és oszd meg a videót.
Big up to all the Hungarians watching.
What did you just say to them?
I didn't say it. Google said it.
What did Google say to them?
Thank you for watching. James Redmond is a great guy. Anyway. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It says, like and share. Here. You see the name? Right here. James, it's proof right in front of you, man. Look at this guy, bro. Unbelievable. See here. Don't believe me. Mihaly says it right there.
Get it shared to the Hungarians.
Yeah, big up to the Hungarians. I said thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe by Hungarian.
My G.
Big up to Zlatan says, Akhi Husam, true, you can't do this as Sparta kick when I get top of the mountain. That's what James did. He just took the chair and just pow. That's what they did, bro.
One of those off the cliff. Fuck
Thank you for getting me to Mount Kilimanjaro. Thank you for kicking me off. Unbelievable. Big up to you, Zlatan. So he says, do you reckon the centre back is next on the priority list? But how much do you guys reckon we have the capability to spend on one with or without a third midfielder? That's a great question, Sidi, and that's going to be our next segment and our final segment, because I don't want to keep James for too long because he's a celebrity. So he's made 1 hour. He's made 1 hour for us today.
Nah, I'm sweet, me lad. I'm happy. I'm just reading the chat, listening to you, and embracing everything. I'm genuinely happy, man. I don't think you understand, Husam. It's the happiest I've been all summer. And I know people can sit there and say, oh, yeah, you didn't know him 12 months ago, but still, you didn't know Messi when he was 12, did you? Well, shut up. We still know Messi was boss in hindsight. So
hold that.
Exactly. So I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to compare him to Messi. I'm just saying, just because we don't know much of him, we've watched a bit of him. We've seen him play at Champions League level. He's won a couple of trophies for Leipzig. There's more than enough credibility there to say he's going to be a quality player. And then if you want to use your own eyeballs, which Amar gave you, then guess what? You'll see that he's got good attributes. And those combined with the legacy that he's created already, I'm buzzing with the signing, Husam. I've got no complaints. Complaints. Yeah, we can talk about the FSG thing. That's separate. This individual signing, it's a great signing. And yes, that therefore, this is now one more footnote on the good things that FSG have done for the football club. Now, the bad things is still much longer, but it's one more good thing, and that's always positive. I'm never going to be upset at good things happening to my football club. And I think this is one of them.
Fact. Primero says, Dida DM, get Kimmich or Brozovic. Brozovic is going to Saudi.
All right. Yeah. We just go and spend 100 million. Let's go and spend another 150 million on a CDM. Say no more.
Kimmich,
no more. I like that logic.
if we get Kimmich, you know, this stuff that James was saying about
if we got Kimmich, I think we'd win the quadruple. I'm being
I think we'd win everything. Kimmich,
I think if we got Kimmich, we'd win. Do you know how much I rate Kimmich? It's not even anything close. Like, you talk about the best DMs in the world. You mentioned Rodri, and then I think you put Kimmich in that conversation. If you want to bring in Casemiro, I don't know. I think Rodri's considerably. I think.
Can I, Primero, you whiling? I don't know how the hell you think we're gonna get Kimmich. I'm gonna be honest with you. You need to pump the brakes.
Yeah, you're chatting shit, lad. I'm just entertaining the thought. Yeah, that's the most bollocks 199. I'm sorry, bro. Nah, big up my American man.
That's the most bollocks $1.99 ever. Sorry, guys, I'm not on Twitter searching for confirmation on the signing. Is it confirmed? Fabrizio gave the tap in. When Fabrizio taps in, he usually celebrates the goal. So yeah, that's.
Unless we get a Nabil Fekir, then yeah, it's done pretty much.
Oh, let's not even. I still remember.
No, do you know what? Someone said that. He says, "I'm not believing it until it's done." It's like if you lived your life off of something that happened, like in a 1 in a million chance. You must live a very lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? Like paranoid, like a very paranoid lifestyle is what you must have if you think that Fekir's situation is going to happen. It's fine.
Fact. Love the new signing. I'd love to knock Arsenal off second place. They're getting too cocky. But why do we want to knock Arsenal off second place? How about we knock City off first place? Come on. In
turn, that knocks Arsenal off second place. I think he's trying to say that if we can set ourselves a realistic expectation with what we have seen, in terms of business, let's get Arsenal off their pitch. I think that's what he's implying.
No slander for active players, only FSG, please. Of course, we're just slandering FSG. We had a 10-minute slander session. And finally, Nadra says, credit to Klopp, not FSG. We have 2 luxury players because of him, UCL to Europa. Damn, okay.
Do you want me to tell you why I can give Klopp credit? Because he made us a good enough football club over the years to get this deal over the line. But otherwise, mate, I don't, you know my stance on Klopp and transfers, so I don't think he had too much say on it. I think the part that Klopp has.
You don't think he even chose Szoboszlai? Genuinely?
No. I think there's a long list of players, and maybe there's a team that chooses them. And I think the part that Klopp has to play is sitting down with the player, letting them know how we're going to integrate you in the system. I think what happens, the board of directors will sit down with Klopp and they'll discuss together. I'm not saying Klopp has no say. I just don't think he gets the final say.
I think I'd agree with you when Michael Edwards was here. Don't you think the dynamics changed since he's left? On a real?
Which now that Klopp just gets all the players.
No, I'm saying I think Klopp is the decision maker when it comes to transfers since Michael Edwards left.
Doubt it.
I really believe that, you know. I think I only believe it since Edwards left, though. Only.
Do you want me to tell you why I think you're wrong?
Why?
Because by transfers you mean ins and outs, don't you? Ins and outs, because that's what transfers is. If you are, because if you're controlling who comes in, you should have control on who goes out. Correct.
Correct.
Milner went, and he wants to keep him.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Actually, I'm glad that the club made that decision to begin with.
No, exactly. So that's the thing. When I raise that argument, I'm not trying to raise Klopp should be the decision maker, but the same way I don't give Klopp shit when transfers go wrong. Like Keita, how was that Klopp's fault? I'm sure he would have sold him earlier if he could. You know what I mean? But he's got to come out and say, no, I'm not going to sell him because he doesn't want to cause that disruption. Why would you cause a disruption? He's already staying there. So that's my logic behind it.
Is that actually you?
Which? Oh, yeah. You're welcome. You can send me a refund after the stream if you want.
That's how I know it's not him. Trent, Szoboszlai, and Salah, that's the Bermuda Triangle. That right-hand side is about to be unbelievable. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's a great trio. I'm not going to lie to you.
No believing Szoboszlai until done. PTSD is real. Kels, I hear you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not even going to say anything because I just understand what you mean. You know what? I'm just say understand.
It's happening. Don't worry, guys.
So, James, final segment. Now, let's talk overalls. Let's talk generalities. Let's talk Liverpool Football Club in general this summer. where's the direction from here? Where's the correct direction? What should happen next in your eyes? Like, just tell me the ultimate goal, whether you think it's achievable or not. The ultimate goal is to win the English Premier League. What direction do we need to head in to get to the ultimate goal?
Things that we need to do to get there.
Yes.
That's what you're asking. Okay, so one more defensive midfielder, one more centre back, and I think that can be it. But it depends on who they are. But let's assume they are the players that we need. Then I think that's enough to go and compete for the Premier League, possibly even win it. I was even going to make another point there. Slipped out my head though. I'm not going to lie to you. Sorry, Husam. It's completely gone. I'm usually great at remembering stuff. It just went right away. I was like, come back. It's gone. But no, I do think that we can do. And you asked me what I think we have to do to get there. I just think it's about making those additions, making sure we've got good squad depth. And let's get a doctor. That'd be a good shout. You know what I mean? Some fitness coaches.
It's the way James says stuff. That says let's get a doctor, That's actually a good idea. I'd assume we would
I've
need
got
a
a first
doctor
aid kit there, so we're short on budget. Don't worry, I've got a first aid kit, but they'll need to sort out the doctor and pay the wages.
Oh, I love this shit, man. Honestly, I love you too. Working with people like James makes life so much easier, honestly. But I just said, how about we get a doctor? The guy just stopped to be mid-thing, and I'm just thinking, like, you know what? Shit, we don't even have a doctor. That's a valid point. How about we get a doctor, to be honest?
No, but this is the thing, though. So you're out of the way someone who is as onto the situation as you are. You know FSG are bullshit, and you forgot about the doctor situation. Think about you who does this every day, and then think about the average fan who doesn't think about this every day, and then do remember just the good times of FSG, because that's all they remember. No one wants to remember bad times, so they put it to the back of the brain. No one wants to remember when we lose big games. So that's why they don't remember it, because they don't want to. But they want to remember the good times, as they should. But if that's all you remember, you now get a false conclusion on how we're actually doing. And that's where I sit there and I just go, there's no balance, you know what I mean? And you need a balance, man.
There needs to be balance in life, always. There needs to be balance.
Like you say, no blind positivity. Makes no sense.
100%. I'm listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always said this. I've got no problem with you wanting Conor Gallagher to be a Liverpool player. I've got no problem with whatever you want. Your opinion is your opinion. I'm not the type of guy to cancel anyone for any opinion. All I ask is, please don't come tell me the reason why we should sign Mason Mount is because Klopp likes him and blah. No, that's not good enough, man. Like, give me why, bro. And signing is like Szoboszlai. With all due respect, Mason Mount is on the last contract here. I'd have felt horrible about the 60 million we'd spent had it been on Mount. With Szoboszlai, at least if it failed, God forbid, of course I want him to succeed. If it failed, I'd be like, at least we signed a very good player and just didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. I'd understand, But if Mason Mount failed, last year of his contract, 60 mil, I wouldn't have been able to deal with it. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I just would have lost my mind. I'm going to just be completely honest and real, man.
Today was a big day for FSG, It was a big day because whatever small percentage of fans that was on board with them starting today, if we didn't get that signing over the line, I think a lot more people would have been fuming. I do. I think a lot more people would have been like, you didn't even pay the buyout option. Really? Is that how we're moving? I think it would have got a few more people off board. So a bit of a downside is that it has got more people back on the FSG in train, because that's just what a good window is going to do. If we win the first 5 games, 10 games, then our conversations about FSG are going to be heavily scrutinised. The will, Husam, I'm just telling you to prepare for it, because think about it. We've been this dog shit and people are already after us. Think about when we go back to good in the short term and people forget that the bag can come again. It'll be ruthless. So we need to be fully armored up when the season begins. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've got my Captain America, my Captain Jordan.
I've just got my cap and that's it.
Yeah, I've got my. No, the problem is my hair probably gonna grow back by then, because already see, like it's just these Arab genes
good, man. Nothing good.
It's just the hair grows back like this. Today one guy insulted me though. Not in the comments, in my own family. He's like, why do you look like one of them fuck boys from 2008? And I'm like, you know what? Valid point. I'm not even going to dispute it, but I'd rather have a hat on than be bald. So yeah, that's the only thing I'd say. So James, centre back, final question. What are you doing with the centre back situation? Who are you signing? Who would you personally prefer? Who do you think the club's going to get?
Oh, they're all proper different questions. I don't think it's going to be that good. I think it's going to be someone we barely know much about, or, like Van der Ven. I never heard of Van der Ven, and I've never watched Van der Ven, so I don't know if he's a good centre-back. I can just see it being someone like that, like someone who got Europa League with their team last season, done well in their team, so we'll go and buy him. Someone in like the French league who's like 20, 30 million. I don't know. As long as the talent ID is accurate, I don't really care. Because like you said, Virgil van Dijk and Konate are going to be the starting centre-backs anyway this season. But my doubts on Virgil van Dijk. And to be honest, I still need to see... Like, I think Konate is going to be really good, but I still see mistakes from him. So it's about getting that person next to him who can reinstill that composure that Virgil van Dijk just hasn't seemed to have had recently. Because it's not just the defensive issues, of the team. Virgil, I think you'll agree with this, in a lot of individual moments where he switched off or he slowed down or, where he does that jockeying thing and he's trying to jockey. Yeah, what are you doing? You know what I mean? What are you doing? So yeah, he's just got a completely different pair of glasses on because he's reading the game completely differently. And that's why I hope the next player that comes in can be someone who reads the game well, plays the ball well out from the back, because that's one thing Konate isn't supreme. He's not bad. He's actually much better on the ball than I thought. But we need someone with that, literally like the calm, cool, collected type like Virgil van Dijk.
I'm going to just say this quickly on the centre back before we wrap up. For me, I know for a fact, I'm going to just put this out there, guys. I'm going to just give you the honest truth. You guys know I'm not an ITK. I just tell you what I'm allowed to say, and I just move on. Here's my thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I know for a fact the club really like Levi Colwill of Chelsea. They really like him.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like that. Oh, no, I like that. I like that. That's an option I weren't expecting.
Let me get to the part you won't like. I spoke to the Chelsea journalist, and he's like, Chelsea are looking for a whole heap of money for Levi Colwill. You're talking like they're not even saying normal numbers, James. They're saying like numbers. Like they're, according to the Chelsea journalist I spoke to, he told me they're looking at almost like 60-something, 70-something million for Colwill. They're looking at big money. Yeah, then we won't get him. That's the negative side. I do know we like him. I think Mickey van de Ven is a possibility. I think Inacio, if we could go hug Sporting Lisbon and sort it out, is a possibility.
Why don't they like us?
Because I think it's the way we approached Inacio.
Oh,
with the way we approached Inacio earlier on this summer. Yeah, we approached it like shitbags, basically. And they were upset because he has a release clause and you can't structure... No, sorry, it's the way we approached Ugarte that pissed him off regarding, basically they don't really like us a lot right now. Because we wanted to structure payment a release clause with Ugarte. And they had to give money to his Uruguayan club and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's this thing. It's kind of a complex situation, but we've pissed Sporting Lisbon off. That's something I know for sure. But there's so many options. There's Tapsoba. I know for a fact that we like Tapsoba too. I know we like Van de Ven. It's plenty of options. And I'm going to give the club credit for one thing. I said I think it was a show I did yesterday or 2 days ago, and I might have said this on James's channel as well. I said, I love the fact we're looking at plan B's, C's, D's, and E's, because I don't like the fact that we just go like plan A or nothing. That's just BS. That's not how life should be. So I'm happy we're looking at plan B, C, D, and F. My only worry was if we kept sinking low and low and low and low and low, because if you remember when this whole thing started, it's like Thuram, Kone, Gabri Veiga, Mount, Ward-Prowse. I was worrying about getting to the monster level, which would have been Sanderberg. If we signed Sanderberg, I would have probably deleted my channel, wrapped my bags up, and just flew to a separate country, just stopped doing content and just disappear from the face of the earth. Because I just cannot do Sanderberg, Ward-Prowse, double pivot. I'd have lost my damn mind, I'm going to be honest with you. So I'm glad we actually went for a plan that is so out of nowhere. If any person claims he knew about this, tell them Husam told me to tell you you're a liar. No one knew about this. Trust me. We woke up and we're just like Szoboszlai out of...
Oh, you on about today? Like, did you find out about all this today?
No. I'm saying this whole Szoboszlai thing. Bro, we didn't even get a link. No one said like boo. No one said like we are looking at Szoboszlai. Nothing.
Did you only find out about Charlotte's side today? Not joining?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying since the start of the summer transfer window,
I get
no one linked us to Szoboszlai. And in these last 48 hours, out of nowhere, it's like Szoboszlai, we're gonna sign the guy just like that. And I'm like, okay, fair enough.
I never knew it was going to be him, but I knew we'd do that because we do that all the time. January windows, summer windows, Jota, Gakpo, Fabinho, all these players were signed out of absolutely nowhere. And it was a surprise, but it was a pleasant one. Same with this one. But I knew from when, from the start of the window, never knew, couldn't have even implied that this was going to happen. But yeah, for a long time, I've admired this player. A long time, a couple of months. But yeah, like I've always looked at him as a type of player that I'd like to identify for my team.
100%.
So yeah,
100%.
happy days,
100%.
happy days.
So let me just run through these super chats before we end it and wrap up. Albert says,
Soboda. Yes, lad.
That's my away jersey. A good day. Big up to you, Albert. I'm personally not buying merch because I'm not supporting FSG, but I hear you. Personally, I'd go buy a replica, but up to you, Albert. You do what you want to do with your money. And I'll say thank you for sending me a super chat. Guys, what about left back? Why is no one talking about it? Nilot Pal on the list of needs, left back is probably 15th thing. Like, it's one of the last things I'm thinking about right now. Robertson and Tsimikas. You guys know I've criticized Robertson heavily this season, but I ain't going to sit up here and just like lose my mind over Robertson and Tsimikas. Whatever. The other places where I'm like, yes, thank God, like we're signing players. Red Chili says, because I'm happy, clap along if you feel. See why I can't sing? I can't sing.
The truth.
Big up, man.
That's
and
me.
Finally,
that's my rendition.
You guys know how much they're signing him for? According to Fabrizio, it's 70 million euros, which is around 55, I'd assume. You know what? Let's
55, 60. 55,
how
60.
much is 70 euros in pounds? Let's just check it real quick. 70 euros to pounds. 70 euros is 60 million pounds. So we're signing him for 60 million pounds, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 60
Which is, by the way, this is the going rate now. This ain't like no shocking. Like,
well, think about it.
Please don't think like 60 million. Like, oh my God, 60
Think
million.
about it. Think about this. English Mason Mount, who's won a Champions League, was 60 mil. It's a good deal, man. It's a good deal.
Last year of his contract as well, he went for 60. So like,
indeed,
it's a. Ooh, if we sign Bastoni, Lord have mercy on my soul, I will sit up here and I will dance. Let me just say that. So, everyone watching us right now, it's been an absolutely unbelievable show. Special shout out to Michael, Tyler, Nadra, Allergies, Nilotpal, Ryan, Matthews, Latan, Red Chili, Hamez, Qusay, Bimero, Sidi, Ali, Kells, Nels, Sav, Selection, Dinesh, Yiber, Arbans, AB, Albert, and Nidal for the super chats. Love to every single person who sent in the super chat. All people have shown us all the love and support. Make sure you come back at 11:30 p.m. for episode 4 of El Ahwa, where we're going to discuss Szoboszlai with two Manx and an Inter Milan fan, and we're going to talk on Mason Mount just so I can make Staffy's day horrible. So make sure you stay tuned in for that. Make sure you're slapping that like button. Make sure you're subscribing. Absolutely iconic show today. Our lovely panelist, James Redmond, is about to let you know where you can find him. Where can people find him?
I was going to say, did you say you're live at 11:30?
Yes.
I am going to be live at 10 until 11. So, guys, if you're needing some content to carry it over until 11:30, you're thinking, Husam's taking the piss and I can't wait for this show. James Redmond TV will keep you covered in the meantime. 10 till 11, feel free to tune in.
In the title. If you're a lazy fart and you just don't want to search James Redmond, it's in the title. I've tagged him.
We're making it easy. The same way.
Just click it. See, let me show you how
easy. Come out of nowhere.
Like,
you just go and subscribe out of nowhere. Happy
people
days.
Like, what is the James Redmond's channel? Oh, where is James Redmond? Let me show you how easy it is. Let me show you how it is. Let me just close the ad first because I'm not going to give them ad revenue for free. So I'm not going to show you the YouTube ad. That's all I've got to say. So let me just show you. See, this is the video right here.
Away his funds.
You click this. You see first how you've liked the video, and then you go see James Redmond TV. Click on his name. You see how the channel loads up? James Redmond TV right here. Click subscribe. See how I'm subscribed? Click subscribe, you bozos. Anyway,
I'm gonna make sure that my revenue's covered. But yes, I'm on 50 subs or 50 now. Therefore, I need you guys to make that at least 74.1. Sorry, 73.1 by the time we're done with this stream.
Go over and subscribe, man. Great show as always, James. Love you all, and we'll see you guys back at 11:30, inshallah.
Peace out, guys.